All right, we out here.
Cool. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I hear you good. I hear you good. And now we all good. We all good. Let me get this damn chat box off my screen. So DJ, man, it's the first time we didn't got the chance to chop it up and do this thing the right way.
My
It's
man.
nice to meet you.
Man, for sure, man. Respect. I appreciate you taking the time to come through, bro.
Hell yeah.
What
Not a problem, man. My pleasure.
the scenery up in that motherfucker is definitely something for the eyes. I mean, I'm sitting there like, what's that on the walls?
Well, it's recognized.
So I collected toys for a while when times were good and I was making good money.
Yeah.
So I was collecting Hot Wheels. First thing I started
Yo,
doing
my
was Hot
uncle
Wheels.
sells Hot Wheels.
Child.
And then I started collecting old stuff that I had from my childhood. And then I started finding these 1 foot tall action figure Marvel, Batman, DC.
Oh
And I
yeah,
started
that's the
getting that.
old school shit. Like that's the original style shit.
Yeah, but they were the only like a lot of them I got were only like seven, $5. And then I got hold on, give me one sec.
Yeah, he collect for real.
No doubt.
He got some shit for some money.
Yeah, B Well was saying that his you said your uncle.
Yeah, he collects Hot Wheels. He does the big ass toy
He
like
said his uncle collects the Hot Wheels.
it'd be like flea market for expensive toys and shit. Like shit.
That's what it is, man.
He travels shit to like
That's
Pennsylvania.
like the man cave or what?
Yeah, that's where I hang out, stay positive and with all this nice stuff, it's kind of hard to be depressed.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yo, I
I
You
don't,
know.
know,
I
like
be shook,
the
bro.
way I seen it, like they're more than decorations than toys because I don't open them.
right.
So I know that eventually when I want to get rid of them, I can resell them, get my money back. It's kind of hard to do that with posters.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense, man. That makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, a lot of people at the end of the day, they don't ever talk about when they be talking about collecting shit. Nobody ever talks about like the resale value or anything like that. You know what I mean? I think it's always good to have a plan B when it comes to stuff like that. But shit. So the DJ, like the name, when I say it, I'm saying DJ OG Lala. Is that right?
You say OG Lala, Ogalala, just OG Lala. It don't matter, man. Like
Okay.
I be online with that name playing Xbox and PlayStation, so I've been called everything under the sun. I've been called Gaga by some dyslexic person. So
No shit. I see you got
as
that
long as you
Pac
can call
shirt
me
on.
Lacey.
I see you got that Tupac on.
Oh yeah, had to pull this up out the closet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But now, speaking of the Tupac, when we was talking, what was it? I think it was last night. It was last night we
Yeah,
was talking. And you from Cali originally?
yeah. I'm originally from Cali, from Long Beach, born and raised.
Okay. Shout out to Long Beach. Shout
That's
out to
right.
Long Beach. So what's it like out in Long Beach growing up? Like first off, like let me see. 'Cause I can't
What was that?
I said I can't tell. Like what's your ethnicity? Is you Hispanic or is
So
you
my mother is Native American, and my mom says my dad is white. I never met my dad, but as you can see on my skin, I'm more than likely my dad is white,
uh,
but my mom's Native American. I got a bigger, older brother. His dad is Native American, so he's like 6'2", 6'3", 225 pounds. He's a big dude. I
okay?
kind of got the short end of the stick of it.
That's what's up.
No doubt. Well, I just wanted to know before that way, like, because I feel like when you're growing up in different places, the things you experience, and your cultural backgrounds and stuff, it helps to add like a little bit of, you know what I mean? For those of us who be out there in different situations, it helps to add just a little bit of, okay, well, it might have been like this.
Well,
So,
because I
but what's
didn't know my
Long Beach
dad.
like?
Well,
Huh?
because I didn't know my father. I was raised by my mother's side. So,
Okay.
and when I was growing up, my mother wasn't always in the picture. To be honest with you, man, like some of this stuff is sensitive, but I've talked about it so much. Group therapies and stuff like that, because I've been through a lot. Now, when I
Right.
say group therapies, I'm talking about forced group therapies from being locked up when they want to what's that word?
Rehabilitate and shit.
Rehabilitate you, exactly. And I'll start at the beginning, man. And the reason why my life has been really a whole lot of turmoil and struggle, but also a lot of good too, is that when I was first born, I died twice when I was born. And that's because my mom was a big drug addict. But at the same time, she was selling drugs in Long Beach.
Okay.
And because of that, she was able to supply herself with as much drugs as she wanted to do while also selling.
Right.
And so, because I had died twice, the doctors knew something was up and they took me away from my mom. And my mom was upset about it, but she didn't want me to get lost in the system. So she had a friend that couldn't get pregnant, and they were a married couple, and they always wanted a kid, but they couldn't have one.
Okay.
So my mom told them what had happened, and they wanted to adopt me. So they had got in contact with the Catholic Church that had taken me from the hospital and pretty much filed the paperwork and adopted me. And
Okay.
so my mother was able to stay in my life, but not able to tell me that she was my mother. And I didn't find this out until years later because she would come visit me at my adopted parents' place.
Right.
Now, this mother I know a lot about because she's been in and out of my life. And the reason why I say that is because not even before I was 3 years old, I was about 2.5 years old. My adopted father killed my adopted mother in front of me.
Wow.
And yes, he used the shotgun and shot her in the throat and face in front of me. And it fucked me up because I've always been able to remember that. And anything after that, I've been able to remember. Anything before, I don't really remember. My older brother remembers what happened because he talked to me about it, and he said, "Yeah, I remember. You weren't even my brother back then. Mom didn't even tell me. I remember taking you in your little scooter and pushing you down the street, and we would have sleepovers. And they bought me a bed, and I didn't know why they bought me a bed. I didn't understand, but I liked hanging out with you.
Right.
And lo and behold, we were brothers." Because when that happened, my mother was supposed to come visit me that day that he killed my adopted mother. And when she got there, the police were already there, and they had me in a squad car and him in another squad car. And my mom found out. She told them that, "Hey, that's my child." And they asked my adopted father, if that was my mother, and he's like, "Yeah, that's his mother." So they gave me to my mom,
Right.
and my mom, being the drug addict that she was, didn't really know what to do with me. So I stayed with her for a bit until I would say 5, 6 years old. And then I moved down the street with my grandmother. And then I was raised by my grandmother in Long Beach. So growing up in Long Beach was kind of tough to start because I didn't really have the proper brain, or I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I was born premature, and I just had a fucked up start, just to put it
It
that way.
sounds like it sounds. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was not expecting it to get so real that fast. Like my nigga, when I be telling people like I know that my stories don't are far from the worst because I witnessed shit living in fucked up situations that was worse than what I was going through. But it's always somebody that you know what I'm saying that is going through more or going through,
Yeah,
just going through more than you. You know what I mean?
yeah. Like,
Like so.
for me, my story isn't that big compared to the ones that I've heard, because I've been locked up, and I've heard some stories of things that people have been through, and they've been through a lot more than me. You know what I mean? There's people that don't have arms and legs and shit. People that are doing 25 to life. People that are starving and pretty much dying from not eating. You know what I mean? I've been blessed to always have a meal. You know what I
Right,
mean? At
though.
least one a day. Sometimes it's hard to get, but I still get it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
just
So
on the lighter side, I did grow up in Long Beach. I grew up on 21st and Locust when I lived with my mom, and then when I was over with my grandma, we stayed on Long Beach Boulevard and 7th Street. which was right across the street from a YMCA, McDonald's. There was a mall down the street. It was a nice little neighborhood. There was a lot of kids in the neighborhood, Hispanics, Samoans,
Okay.
a lot of black kids, and really there was no other white kids where I grew up. And that was a problem for me growing up once my grandmother passed, because where I ended up moving, there was all white kids and barely any of minority, no Hispanic, no black, no Asian. But when I grew up in Long Beach, I've seen a few things, and we were talking about Snoop Dogg, right?
Yeah.
Well, because my mom was a drug dealer, he caught word about my mom was slanging drugs, and so he came knocking, and he wanted to get some weed. And lo and behold, my mom, she has bud, but she don't really like slang it because that wasn't like her thing. She makes more money slanging the other stuff.
Right.
So by doing that, you know what I mean? She's like, all right, I'll hook you up. And I think at the time Snoop was like 16 or 17. And I know this is for a fact because I asked my mother when I was an adult, did you really know Snoop? Because the stories that I hear are from my brother, who's
Right.
7 years older than me, that was there
Yeah, that's lit.
all the time. He was there. And I remember a little bit about this dude, but not enough to say that, oh yeah, I remember Snoop Dogg. I'm not gonna fake the front. You know what I mean? I was three,
Right.
4 years old.
Still, man,
And
being that close to the culture and that close to the vibe. I mean, and that was a lot of the reason why I wanted to rap.
That's fire, bro.
but the thing I wanted to mention about Snoop is that he would come over and get a little half ounce of bud from my mom and my brother. You know, we would play in the neighborhood, and he lived a few blocks down the street. And Snoop he's a good 5, 6 years older than my brother.
Okay.
And the older guys in the neighborhood, they would bet on the neighborhood kids because you know when they start squabbing or fighting, they were
Yeah.
like almost like a little ringleader, like a boxing kind of match. He's like, hey, you fight him and you fight him. I got
Mm-hmm.
five
Most
on him.
definitely. Most
And
definitely.
yeah,
Everybody gotta get the squabbles.
yeah, I didn't fight because I was just a kid. But my brother, he fought a few times, and I don't remember if him saying if he lost or won, but I'm
Hey,
not sure. You know what I mean? But
man,
I have
look.
seen my brother fight, and he's a good fighter. Because growing up in Long Beach, you got to fight for your own. You don't, you know, you can't let no one punk you. You can't let anybody bully you in the schoolyard.
Like
Because once one person bullies you, everybody's gonna want to do it. They're gonna think it's okay to do it. That
that's
they're
how
gonna
they
you're
coming
gonna
out there. I felt like so like all right, right. So I'm not too familiar with you know why didn't mute him out? Where your sound go? Yeah, your sound that went out real quick. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I'm not too familiar with
Can you hear
how
me?
the culture is out there, right? So like, is it gangs everywhere or like because
Yeah,
Long Beach is like it's supposed to be like a Crip type of part of Cali, right?
yeah. And can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. So in Long Beach, there's different areas, and the majority of the areas are ran by Crips, but there's a lot of overlapping gangs with the same areas that are the Asian gangs, and then you have Hispanic gangs. There's not many of them, but the ones that there are that were there, this is like, from what I remember in the early 90s, 91, 92, 93, 94. That's when I was really like in the streets because I was living with my grandma and she was too old to really
Okay.
like keep an eye on me. She had bad knees. Like every 30 steps, she'd have to sit and rest and take a nitroglycerin pill because she had a bad heart.
Man, you was taking advantage, man. That's what it sounds like,
No,
man,
no,
from
no,
what
no,
you're
no.
telling me, bro.
My grandma said as long as I was safe, that I was okay and just make sure that I wasn't home too late. And it was up to me when to come home.
Right,
So
right.
I really was hanging out with people in the neighborhood, and the older guys in the neighborhood, 16, 17, 18, 20-ish, they all looked out for me because they knew my grandma, and my grandma was an old, cranky old lady. So nobody wanted to have to deal with her ass. So they made sure that I was cool and that nobody fucked with me.
So you never had to get into the culture?
Well, I never had to join a gang
Right.
because or like by the time that I was like gang age, I was already in jail. I'd
Okay.
already been doing bad stuff on my own to where I didn't need a gang to help me get in trouble. I was, you know.
Hey, hey, look, I feel that.
So by the time I was 12 and a half, Well, let me go back because this is important.
Okay.
Because you know how there's all these school things, how these people are taking these things and bad things are happening to kids. I know we're not supposed to really talk about that, but I just wanted to mention that. Well, when I was a kid, I took one of them things to school,
Okay.
and I fucked up. I messed up bad. Excuse my language. I apologize, but
You
I
good?
messed
We
up
in the, you know how we coming? You know.
because when I was growing up, like it was cool to have one of those because the neighborhood where I came from, everybody had one. You know what I mean? Most people didn't leave home without one
Right though.
because you can literally leave your front door and get robbed.
Hey.
And that was at knife point, at gunpoint. I've seen it happen. And by the age of 9, I had seen 3, 4 people already get stabbed. And that's just not even a block from my house.
Right though.
And that's it. And that's literally 2 of the 3 I saw a half a block from a middle school. And this type of stuff happens all the time. My brother and my uncles would kind of shield me from that type of stuff. And when they seen something go down, we would kind of, let's cross the street because they don't want to get me hurt or have me see things that I shouldn't be seeing because there's always some foul stuff going on.
I can
Back in
respect
the
that.
80s, there was a lot of I wouldn't call it domestic abuse, but dudes were hitting ladies. They were just
Oh
hitting
yeah, nah.
females. And
Back
it
in the
was like
day,
an
yeah, I think
okay
that shit was
thing.
way more common back in the day.
Yes, and people were doing things a lot more openly.
So,
And
so not to cut you off, but real quick though. So, you being what time frame is this?
this, I'm talking about in the early 90s.
All right. So, the question I have, right? We get this question a lot, and everybody likes to ask us about hip hop music and like the crime and all this other stuff. So, you being there and hip hop being, the early '90s in LA, hip hop hitting hard. You feel me? So, do you feel like the crime and the stuff that was going on was more like perpetuated by hip hop?
Now, people were committing crimes. The reason why people were committing crimes was mostly because they were trying to get some money to take care of themselves or feed their own or take care of their habits.
Okay.
Um, Nobody was just going out of their way to hurt people. They were doing it because there was a means to it was a means to gain something. Let me rob this guy. Let me take his watch. Let me take his wallet. I'll go pawn his watch and take whatever I can out of his wallet and go throw his wallet away.
Hey man,
People
I just like to hear a real
weren't out to,
perspective on it. Was you there during the riots?
yeah, the LA riots.
Blaze. Yeah, yeah, the Watts
Yeah, the
joints.
LA riots.
You
Yeah,
were there?
my grandma kept me in the house because it was bad because I
Oh
was living
shit.
in Long Beach, and there was stuff happening all over the place from Watts, Long Beach, Compton. Um, it got bad, so my grandma kept me in the house, but I watched all this shit on the TV, and I watched the truck driver uh, get pulled out of his truck and just get whooped on. You know what I mean? And that's how it was in Long Beach. You know what I mean? If someone had a problem with you, they were going to handle it right then and there. They weren't coming back next week. They weren't going to have to look for you. You were going to settle it right there. And sometimes it ended up with your life
No
over the
shit.
smallest things, such as a basketball. You know what I mean? Like, someone steal your basketball from you and you don't know them, let them have it. Because you know what? You fight with them over it, they might have a gun and you might end up getting shot over a basketball.
I'm not gonna lie. That is what should be taught, bro. But I ain't gonna lie. I come
But
from, on the East Coast, that's not how we was taught. We was taught, yeah, nah, you take your basketball shit, nigga, shut down the court. You know what I'm
oh,
saying?
of
Don't
course,
leave. Get
you
your
fight for
ass
your
whipped or whatever, but
yeah.
don't
But
leave.
if you knew of them or knew them, but if you didn't know if this dude was a gang member from a local gang, like there was more than likely he was. If there's 10 people, I would say 5 of those people have guns.
See, that's the difference between Cali out there though, cause like everybody got guns over here, but it be like if everybody's from the same block, and 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be chilling with people from the same area of the city.
Yeah,
You know what
there
I'm
was
saying? So,
abundance of guns. I was finding guns in the bushes.
damn.
Damn. I
So,
had
That's how
no
I got. That's how I got hemmed up at the school because I wanted to show off. I thought it was cool, and I got caught. And by doing that, I had started an early rap sheet at the age of 9 years old. But hip hop had nothing. Rap hip hop had nothing to do with my my shortcomings. Anything that I was
I
doing
like
was
that.
because of me. The things that I was going through. My grandma passed when I turned 9, and I was given the opportunity to go live with the foster home or be with my mother, who had just recently gotten out of rehab. My older brother told me to go with my mother. So I went with my mom. I told the lady on the phone, hey, I want to stay with my mother. So I
Right.
went to go live with my mother, and we moved from Long Beach to the San Fernando Valley. And the San Fernando Valley is only about, say, 25, 30 minutes down the highway.
Oh, so it's not far from everything that you
It's
knew
not.
already.
And I would take the bus back on down to Long Beach because it wasn't very far. And I would do this with my brother all the time because he wanted to go always go visit his friends. So moving out of Long Beach at the age of 9 wasn't the last I seen in Long Beach
Right.
because it was where I was born. It's where I'm from. It's my friends were there.
That shit's
I love
dope.
playing basketball.
I respect that. Now, you said that you did that you had to do some time and stuff like that for all the younger people and everything, right? Because you said you haven't been affiliated.
No, I never had. I never
It,
wanted to be a part of the gang because I had seen what it had done to people in my neighborhood
nah, it
already.
ain't on
I
X.
I had seen what gangs did. I had a neighbor who lived literally the house next door in my apartment who got jumped by an Hispanic gang that my cousin was a part of. And they stole his brand new starter jacket, his Philadelphia Eagles starter jacket.
Oh
And he
shit.
was pissed. And
I bet.
he told my brother, and I heard the story. And I ended up telling my cousin, and I'm like, "Hey, they took my friend's jacket." And she asked my brother, and he's like, "Yeah, that's my friend. We go to high school together. Can you get his jacket back?" And she's like, "I'll see what I can do." And not a week later, she calls us up, and she got his jacket back. And we never really had any problems with that Hispanic gang after that. But it was the fact that he got jumped. You know what I mean? And when I saw that, and I'm like, I don't want to be a part of someone that's gonna hurt
Yeah,
somebody
nah,
that
you
I know
get
that ain't
famous
done
for
nothing to
that.
nobody.
I respect that. I was just like when you come from the East Coast, I think you and no disrespect, because I know there's some places on the East Coast now where gang culture is embedded into the roots of it a lot more. But when I was coming up, you had to go and like you had to look to find a fucking gang to join. Like it wasn't out here like that.
Yeah, you weren't getting forced. If you were a youngster, you weren't being forced to join a gang. You wanted to join the gang because you saw how they were living. Because a lot of the gang members were selling drugs and making quick money. And by making quick money, they had nice things. And these youngsters saw them having these nice things and thought, hey, I want that stuff too. And they asked them, what do I got to do? And the older heads would be like, hey, join the gang. And
Huh.
that's what ended up happening a lot. But I didn't want that because I I honestly, I cared about my grandma. When my grandma passed, nothing cared. I didn't care about anything after that, after my grandma passed. For years, just the mention of my grandmother put me in tears because that's how much she meant to me. Because she wasn't just my grandmother, she was my mother. I had mentioned that I didn't know my name, my real American name, until I was 6 years old because my
Your
grandma had a Native American name.
your
My grandma
vocals
was
went down.
huh?
Your vocals changed.
I know. I'm sorry. I gotta get I need like a whole setup. This phone thing ain't gonna work the greatest.
Ain't no thing.
Let
Hey,
me
bro, you've been kicking game, giving good facts and everything. You know, Blaze and everybody in the chat. I don't know if you can see the chat, but Blaze and everybody in the chat showing mad love and shit.
Oh, I was trying to put it on, but we got to talking.
Yeah, ain't no thing, fam. You already know, bro. Like I said, the fact that you know that we get to do this here and connect and like I said, this is the real part of it. You feel me?
Yeah, so
So
I've lived in and out of being out of the boys' homes and being out of juvenile hall. By the age of 12, my mom had pretty much given up on me because of how bad of a kid I was. You know, stealing from stores, ditching school, fighting every week at school, getting suspended. I had problems because I'm not the biggest dude. I'm white, and I felt like I had problems fitting in because the neighborhood I grew up in was almost. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's still distorted. It's not like it was before. But I can hear you. But it ain't like it was though. That shit
Is it better now?
nah, it's still the same. It sound like you like talking through a can.
I don't know how to fix it.
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what happened over there, man. I don't know. So the picture's still good. The sound just a little off. But everything else is straight.
Hopefully we can get through it, and hopefully y'all can hear me well enough to understand what I'm saying.
Well, like I said, this ain't gonna be the last time. You know what I'm saying? The crazy thing is I was just thinking about it because we can actually host we can host a lot of people in these rooms where we do these conversations and stuff like that. So this is a good start to it, man, and especially just leading off with real shit, bro. Just leading off with real shit. I feel like people truly appreciate and relate to that shit. You can hear? Blaze said that he can hear you.
Cool.
So yeah, let's do
So,
this thing though.
you want me to continue or you want me to stop?
Nah, most definitely continue. We gonna vibe out. Look, you see, look, I got this Goji rap filled, bro. Let's do this.
All right. So by the age of 12, my mom's pretty much given up on me because I was such a bad kid. And by that time, I was ditching school and I was breaking in to my stepdad's house. And now you're like, how are you breaking into your stepdad's house? Well, my stepdad used to beat me. And I ended up getting to a point where I ended up fighting his ass back because he's hitting me like a grown ass man. And I was like, no, I'm not coming back. I moved out. And my mom was like, nah, fuck that. She got her own place. And so my mom got her own place, did all the stuff for me. And I'm over here messing around, getting kicked, ditching school and breaking into my stepdad's house. Well, my stepdad ended up finding out. And when he found out, he told my mother. And he's like, what should I do? And my mom told him, well, press charges because he's got to
Oh
learn.
shit.
He's got to learn eventually. You know what I mean? He does all this bad stuff. He's never home. I don't know what else to do with him. And my mom was right. I was bad. And I needed change. I needed somebody to help me because I had been doing bad for so long it had become natural. And it was because I was heartbroken and I enjoyed the thrill of doing bad shit eventually. You know what I mean? Like almost like a little rush, almost like a little high of it. Whenever I would steal something and get away with it, or do something I wasn't supposed to do, I felt naughty, bad. Like, ooh, I'm bad. You know what I mean?
So that started right after you lost your grandma?
Pretty much, yeah. When after I lost my grandma, like I really said, fuck it. I didn't, stop going to school.
For sure.
Started hanging around the bad crowd. Other kids that weren't doing good in school, ditching, smoking weed. You know what I mean?
For sure.
It was bad for me. So by the age of 12, my mom had given up. And so when my mom told my stepdad to press charges, he did. And they locked my ass up. They took me to the police station, handcuffed me. I was handcuffed to the bench for like 4 hours. And eventually they drove my ass to the juvenile hall, Silmar Juvenile Hall in California.
Yeah, tell us about that juvie experience. Gotta tell us about that juvie experience, man.
So when you get there, you got to go to a holding, just like how you would go if you were in regular jail. That you got to go to holding first. They got to shower you down, almost, make sure that you don't have no bugs on you and stuff, that you're not bringing nothing into the jail. So, but the worst part about it is that I didn't know when I got there is that they're going to have you bend over, pull your pants down, bend over and cough. And that's to make sure that you're not hiding anything up your rear.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a traumatic experience for me at 12 years old. You know what I mean?
I bet, yeah, for sure.
So that first night, it messed me up. When I got there, and I finally got to my as a GH dormitory. So they have two big rooms. So it's split. There's an office, and on one side there's a long hallway with cells on each side, and then On the other side of that office is a long ass hallway, and their stuff is they have cells on each side. And in the front of the offices is two cafeteria looking where you can hang out, and what is that called?
You talking about like the rec room?
Rec room. Exactly. It's like where that's where we would eat and we watch TV there. You know, if you were good, like it wasn't an everyday thing. So pretty much you would be locked down 23/7 because you come out and you wouldn't get exercise time. You'd only come out for your meals. They don't have to let you out when you're a kid. So it's not like how they say in like jail, oh, you get an hour of PT time. Nah, it's not like the movies, you know.
Talk to him. Tell him. That's look. Hey, tell him. Shit.
So when you go to juvenile hall, you don't have the same rights as an adult. You're pretty much at their whim. So you mind your P's and Q's because, you know, they'll take you in the back room and beat you up. You know, I was a mouthy kid, and it's a little embarrassing to mention, but one time when I was banging on the walls and shit, they came and they told me to stop. And I should have listened because I didn't. And I continued to bang, and they came in there with the pepper spray. And not only did they spray me, the guard pulled down my pants and sprayed my bottom, man.
Yeah. You done been to juvie. You done been to juvie. You done been there. You done been there.
So
That's foul.
after 3 months there, I finally got accepted into a boys' home because my mom sure in the hell didn't want me back. And so the judge pretty much recommended that I do 6 months in a boys' home. Now, keep in mind that, you know, 6 months, that's an important detail because after my 6 months there, my mother never came to get me. She disappeared.
Oh shit.
So they didn't know what to do with me. So I stayed there another 6 months, did the program again because, you know what, honestly, I needed it. And I ended up staying at that place for 3 years until I finally fought for them to be like, hey, I need to do something. I can't stay here. You know what I mean? I'm locked down. Y'all just, you know what I mean? This ain't right.
They'll
And
fuck
they
with you a
treated me
lot more
good.
now. I ain't gonna lie, DJ.
They treated me good, but just the fact that I had been away from my family for already 3 years, I wanted to I wanted to experience life. You know what I mean? We didn't have any girls at this. It was a boys' home.
Right.
And there was no girls. So when I got there when I was almost 13, and so when I left, I was like 16 and a half, almost 17. But where they ended up putting me was another boys' home. But the leniency was a little bit better.
Damn.
Now, instead of being on lockdown practically 24/7, now once a week, we can go out for 2 or 3 hours with an accompanied staff. And it was cool because the school that we got to go to had girls, and everybody had a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And it was cool because I actually got attention. I got to experience life. And that placement or group home, they try to do the best they could because a lot of the kids there didn't have homes. The place that they had sent me to was one of those places where the really bad kids go, but these aren't the kids that got in trouble or got sent to jail. They just got taken away from the parents.
Right.
But these were the worst of the worst. And they put me there from the first place. And I was like, cool, I could get a little extra freedom. I now have a roommate, like a regular room. I'm not in a big dorm where I share, you know, a bathroom with somebody where we got to share showers together. There's no walls. The toilets don't have no doors. So if you like your privacy and you can't pee or poop in front of people, don't go to jail
You better fucking
because
know.
that's the way it is.
You better fucking know. Bro, going through all that so young, like when you going through it, like you said, at some point you started to say, like, you know, I want to experience different things. When you hit
Yeah,
that
I
stage,
want it to be. I don't mean to cut you off. Go
you
ahead.
good? Nah, I was saying when you hit that stage, like, did you ever start to then think about the effects of all of the shit that you were like going through? Or like even when you was going through it, like when did the effects of what you were going through come into play? Like take, you know what I mean? Like when did you realize that? I guess is the question.
At the age of like 15, I started to realize that I'm never going to get out of here unless I start doing better, because I didn't really have anywhere to go. And the only way to get out of there was to do good and prove to them that I was worthy of going to another place that was more lenient. Because honestly, when my mom didn't come get me, I knew I was going to be there until I was turned 18. And I didn't want to be in that lockdown facility for, I was already there for 3 years. So, by the time I went to the second place, I was happy because now I had a girlfriend. I was experiencing life, but it wasn't enough. You know, I wanted more. I wanted my independence. Um, and the only reason is because I started to do good and I saw that what good was getting me, that good things were coming my way, and I didn't need to steal for good things to happen.
I can
I
respect that.
know that if I wanted something, people were more than willing to help me out and not just give it to me, but I could work for it. And that inspired me, put inspiration into me to have a good work ethic, that no matter what I do, whatever I'm doing, give it 110%. Never half-ass anything, because what you do and what you're showing, that's you. You know what I mean? Like if you do this, like if you're doing some gardening and you half-ass your gardening and it's all dirty and nasty, that's a reflection of you.
You better know.
Definitely.
You better
And
know.
Definitely.
and so I do anything and everything that I have to do work wise, I make sure I do the best that I can, because it's important to me to know that I did a good job. To see the after that, hey, I did do good,
So
because it's a good feeling. All the time that I was doing bad, it was giving me this rush. I did not realize that I can get that same exact rush by doing good things for people. Whether they were bad people or good people, I did good things for people.
I'm not
Um,
gonna lie. The way that you just put that was that was so, yeah, that was so real and poetic, man. Like I love that, man. You can get the same rush,
Off doing
off
good.
doing good, man. That is crazy. That is crazy. My bad. I ain't mean to cut you over. That shit was dope,
you
man.
good?
That's real shit.
Yeah, that was
Let
dope.
me get a little swig. I'm getting a little mouth dry, cotton mouth.
Hey man, look, you already know where we at. You feel me? You know where we at. We might this might be the realest stream that we done did, but you know what I'm saying. The vibe is different tonight, but you know what time it is. Um, man.
So by the time that I wanted to leave the second placement, because I had a boys' home placement. They called it placement, but it's a boys' home. Like you're literally in a house and it's nothing but boys, and you go to school with girls. They drive you there and they drive you home. And I was tired of doing that. I wanted to go to a regular high school. I wanted to be a normal kid experiencing normal things, go to prom and all that. And I couldn't do that at the place I was because it was a continuation school. For those of you that don't know what a continuation school is, it's a place where kids that usually either get behind or bad kids that end up getting behind go so that they can catch up on their work. But they offer limited classes. You can't get all the classes you need at a continuation school to go to a university. And
Okay.
that was my goal. I wanted to go to a university. I wanted to be something. And I had a lot of teachers that really inspired me, that helped me get my life together. They kept telling me, hey, quit messing up. Quit doing bad things, man. I'm tired of putting you in detention. I'm tired of seeing you in my office. Like my teachers had it, like when I was even in the boys' home, the school I was going to, like in my earlier years,
Yeah.
one teacher kick me out every day. Like I would literally walk into class and I didn't even say nothing. He would say, "Nope, out, go to the principal's office," because he would not put up with me.
Like
Because that's how bad I kept interrupting this class. I wouldn't let him teach. I was just being a dumb kid, acting a fool.
so
And
I
so a lot of my teachers end up helping me. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? I want to become a teacher. That was like my first thing that I really wanted to
Man,
do.
your story has so many twists. That was not what I was gonna ask you. Like, what you know what I mean? What that similar to that question, what you wanted to do? But
Yeah, I
okay,
wanted to be a teacher because I had a black teacher, Mr. Bynum. I got to give him a shout out
he said, "Shout
because
out to Mr. Bynum." You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Hey,
he's
shout
my
out to all the
history.
good teachers out here.
Shout
You
out.
feel
He's
me?
my
That leave
history
Shout
teacher.
impressions.
out.
That
Shout
have
out.
people telling stories about y'all later in life. So yeah, to the educators, you know.
Big up, Mr.
He was
Bynum.
my history teacher, but he understood that for us to actually get ahead in life and actually have any chance of succeeding, we needed to really know English and know how to write, like structure paragraphs and write a report or an essay. And he really just was there for us, not just with learning the English, but when he taught history, he would spit facts. He would actually tell us stuff you would learn in college, and he would really let you know that, hey, the stuff in this history book, a lot of it's correct, but it's not all the whole story. And then he would fill in the blanks for us. And when he did that,
Hey,
it made me like on the edge of my seat. I'm on the edge of my seat listening to these stories about our forefathers and just history in general. Susan B. Anthony and all these other characters throughout the time. You know what I mean? Like the Alamo and who was all there. Um, he was a real good history teacher. And if we did good, he would let us watch, a movie on a Friday every once in a while. Like he really looked out for us, but he made sure that we were on top of our writing, that we knew the history, and that could always come to him. Um, if there was any problems, like if you had any issues at home or at the boys' home, or you needed help with your schoolwork, he was there for you, and he would come to your house and actually the boys' home and sit down with you and actually help you with your work.
no
Like
shit.
he would tutor you, and he would do this on his free time.
That's a real brother.
Right.
And that's why I had to shout him out, because he's a really good teacher. I'm not sure if he's still teaching, but
That's a G.
because of him and other teachers like him, I wanted to become a teacher. So by wanting to go to university, I had to get the heck up out of that boys' home and go somewhere where I can actually go to a regular high school. So I went back to court. I had a probation officer at that time, and I told her, "Hey, these are my plans. I got to do something with myself," and she agreed. So she went to the judge and set up a court date. And by setting up the court date, I went and talked to the judge, and I told him I want to go to regular high school. I want to live like a regular kid. Like I, I want to be something. I want to go to university, and I can't go to university with the credits that they're going to give me. And he understood, and he's like, okay. And he's like, all right, court ordered, mandatory. He's going to regular high school. No more continuation school for him.
So,
And
so where are you living at this time then?
at this time, they are having me all over the place. So I was in Chatsworth for the first place, and then I was in, I think it was called Reseda,
So you
was the
still,
second place.
but you're still in boys' homes and stuff like that, going to high school
Yeah.
then?
And the thing is that these boys' homes have boys from all the different neighborhoods. And lo and behold, I know some of these kids that end up coming to these boys' homes that I grew up with. And one of them ended up becoming a gang member that's from Snoop Dogg's gang.
That's
No
wild.
shit.
That's wild.
Yes, it was my friend Kevin.
That's real
I'm not
shit.
gonna give his last name, but
Most definitely
he,
not. You know.
he was in the second boys' home,
No
and I
shit.
guess he had got caught up for something, and it helped me connect with the other um, black members that were there, because there's about 100 kids that go to the school, and each house is divided by 8, so there's like 9 or 12 different houses that that the boys reside. But we all go to the same school, and then when they would take us places, we all go together. Like the house number 7 and house number 9 are going to go to the putt putt golf place and go play arcade. And so we would link up and we'd all hang out. So not only did you hang out with school, but you would hang out at these other places. So you kind of wanted to get to know these other kids and not be shy, because these are the dudes that, you know what I mean? Like, they'll fuck you up. I'm sorry for the language, but
Nah, you good on the
there,
language. But
there are
look,
some big, there's some
I
big
gotta,
dudes
I got.
growing up. There's some little dudes, but there's some big dudes, and you want to keep it cool with these people
For
because
sure.
they got big hands. You know what I mean? They hit you one time, it might be like lights out for you. You know
Oh
what I mean?
shit. Nah,
So
for sure.
so
Oh,
you end up becoming cool with these people, and I rather have you as my friend than as my enemy. You know what I mean? Like you never gave me a reason for us not to be friends, so why can't we be friends?
nah,
And I
for
always drop
sure.
that on people. And so they
That's
were like,
funny.
cool, you know what I mean? And I'm pretty good at basketball because growing up in Long Beach, you got to do something. And that's what I
Man, how
did. I
tall
played
you is,
basketball.
man?
Huh?
How tall you is?
I'm 5'7.5".
Oh
With
yeah, nah,
shoes,
don't
I'm
bring that
five
shit
eight.
around here, son. Don't bring that shit over
Bruh.
here. I'm smashing them joints. Ah, get that out of here. It's like, I was
So I, so I played all the way
you know,
from
6'3".
from being in Long Beach from about 7 years old to about 30 years old. I played, and just at 30 years old, when I moved to Texas, I stopped playing because I didn't know where any courts were. I got a little court that's just a little hoop and a little block of cement. It's not even enough to play horse.
yeah, well, shit, we be going to the schools when we go out Texas and shit, and we be trying to hoop, like, cause we like the hoop on the go, just like, you know what I'm saying? So we always pull up to the schools, you know, they got the pavilions and shit and stuff with those big ass cement pad and shit outside and shit.
Yeah, I would love to go play basketball. I might be getting a little old. I might have to stretch first.
Oh
We
shit,
all
man! Look, right. I was stretching when I was a young motherfucker. I'm always been like,
we
you know what I
all
mean, tall and lanky type. So you know what I'm saying. But now I done put on a little bit of, you know what I mean. I'm putting on a little bit of weight on that thing. So you
So,
feel me? But but now
so
shit. What's the name? Blaze had asked, was he rolling 20s?
yeah, and I used to diss him. I used to say Twinkie, and he was a dick.
You see, well, there's your answer.
Yeah.
Um,
And I did at the time because I was a kid. I didn't know how disrespectful that was, and that a lot of people died over saying that. And I regret doing that to him because it really upset him, and it took all of his strength not to do something to me because he had other, there's other kids from other gangs that are there, and if you disrespect somebody, you got to handle it.
oh
Yeah,
shit.
And
for
he
sure.
never did anything to me because he was my friend from Long Beach.
No shit. That's fucking wild.
Thank God.
So he was
Yeah.
torn from either beating my ass or letting it go. So he was never really happy with me after that.
I remember. So all right. So now you know, being as though I love music and hip hop and stuff. Like, when did when did like music come into your life type? You know what I'm saying? Like with everything that you was going through, boys home after boys home and all that stuff. Like did music play a role in your life at all at that
Like
time?
I was listening to rap before my grandmother passed. My first album that my grandma got me, we went to the record store and I asked for it, was Young MC, Bust the Move album. I don't know if you know who Young MC is, but he's a
Not
clean
familiar.
rapper. He doesn't curse in his lyrics.
Okay.
And because of that, my grandma, she said, okay, she get it from me. But at that same time, my brother being 7 years older, he was in the culture already. And he already had a bunch of albums. And when I was, I think, 7 or 8, I went into his room and I picked up an album, and this album said, uh, "Strictly for my niggas," and he was like, "Huh? Strictly for
Hey,
my night?" No,
yo,
he pulled me
that is
over.
funny.
He pulled me over to the side, and he's like, "No, it says this. Don't say it though. You can't be saying that. This is only for them. You cannot say, you can't say that word. You're gonna get beat up or even worse. Don't ever say that." And he was right. I don't, you know what I mean? It's not a good word. Even if your friends accept you to say that word, still don't say it because you can say it in the wrong company and bad things happen to you. So I try not to say it. And if I do slip up, I do apologize.
That is hilarious. I mean, yeah, I don't even know on that one.
And
Yo,
so,
but that story is fucking
Boy,
hilarious
try
though.
to be
so,
careful with
so
that
at
type
this
of shit,
time,
man.
my brother, he's listening to all the rap. He's listening to Tupac. He's listening to Bone Thugs. He's listening to Ice Cube, all the West Coast stuff. And I have to listen to it because I like being in the room with him playing Nintendo and Super Nintendo. And I can't really do that in the living room. My grandmother wouldn't allow it. And so my grandma had a room, my brother had a room, and then I had the living room pretty much. I had like a couch, a little love seat. And so I ended up taking that into my brother's room and go play. And I moved back and forth every day and just picked that motherfucker up. And that's when I realized that, maybe I am a little bit more than just what people say, that I'm not so small. You know what I mean? Because I got a little bit of weight. You know what I mean? I'm not little.
Nah, for sure.
Sure.
Look.
You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
would put my
bro.
couch in there and I play video games, and my brother would be listening to all the new rap albums. And I don't know if it was his friend named Kwame that was putting them up. Rest in peace, Kwame.
Okay.
He ended up dying from he ended up getting shot from gang related violence, and he died. And he's a nephew of Charles Barkley.
Damn.
And the reason why I know this is because I have pictures. My family has pictures of him with Charles Barkley and his family. And I'm like, why do we have these pictures? When my grandma passed, we packing everything up, pulling everything out. I find a box of photos. I'm going through it, and I find photos of Kwame and his parents, and it looks like Charles Barkley.
No
And my brother
shit.
said, yeah, that's Kwame. And I'm like, that you know Charles Barkley? He's like, yeah, that's his uncle. And I think he was getting all of these. He was putting them up on game on all the albums, because my brother wasn't hanging around a bunch of black guys. His group was a black guy, a Filipino guy, a white guy, and then on occasion this Hispanic dude, because he was our neighbor and they would bump heads once in a while. They couldn't agree on shit. Um, so he had a mix of a group, you know what I mean? And I don't think he was getting music tips from the Filipino dude. And I don't think he was getting, tips from my neighbor, because I would have heard him playing that music. You know what I mean?
Nah, for shit show.
So he had to be coming from somewhere. So I'm pretty sure probably sure it was Kwame. And so growing up, I listened to this music, and all the way up until I went to the boys' home. But that wasn't the end of it, because when I got to the boys' home, all the other kids, that's what they were listening to, because I was one of the younger kids that got there. Because I was such a bad kid when I got there. I was 12. The average kid there was 15, 14 years old. So I was already starting off little. But by the time I got to the third place, because I don't want to get too far behind and go too far sidetracked, um, I was talking about how I wanted to go to regular school. I went to the courts and got that, taken care of. They ended up putting me in another home, but it was a house where you were learning to gain your independence. And shout out to this house, because and the staff members that work there. I don't remember all their names, but it's people like them that help
Hey,
bad kids get better,
look, I
that give them
respect
a
that type
second
of shit,
chance.
bro. I
And
do.
they were teaching us like a lot of stuff, but they had me on a farm, bruh. This place was a farm. And I'm not talking about, oh, they have one chicken and a
He said they
cow.
had
No,
me on the
they have
farm,
a
bro.
they have a herd of cattle, herd of steer. These are beef cattle. And I did not know until it was my turn that we have to slaughter these things and cut them up and make, so that they're ready you know, for food, so that they can feed to the boys. Now, I was on the independent program up on the hill in the house, while everyone else was down low on the like in dormitories. So
Okay.
I had pretty much graduated from being a bad kid into a good kid by this time. And they were teaching me how to apply for credit cards, how to balance a checkbook,
That's
how not to mess your credit up and have too many credit cards, and what to spend on and what not to spend on. Helping me enroll into college. They taught us pretty much all the stuff besides how to file taxes.
No
that
shit.
you would need to get you ahead in life. And this is all happening when I was about almost 17.
Okay.
And so the school that I got to go to,
Niggas.
because I was, required to go to a regular school, was literally attached to this boys' home on the other side. But it was a public school.
Did you
So
like that? The fact that everything was so close, or I mean, you know
I,
what I'm
you know what?
saying?
If it had been farther away, I probably wouldn't have graduated. Because yes, because we lived on, because it was a farm, we all had to have jobs. Whether you were on down below with the bad kids or you're up on the hill with the good kids,
Right.
you had to have a job. And the job that I ended up getting wasn't in the kitchen this time because all the two other places I have been to, I've been working in the kitchen. And now I'm working at 4 or 5 in the morning, feeding cows every morning, feeding cows, going through their shit, walking through it, and then having to go to school after. And
And you had a
if I
girlfriend? Sheesh.
huh?
I said, and you had a
I was
girlfriend?
at the time I didn't have one because I had moved from the boys' home that the girls were at in the school. I moved schools, so now they had me from being in the San Fernando Valley. I know probably talk a lot with my hands because I see myself in the fucking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all good. It's all about
Uh,
the story, man.
Some real shit.
when they moved me from the San Fernando Valley, they ended up moving me to San Bernardino. And it was a place in Chino Hills, the boys' home. You can look it up. There's probably only one big boys' home, and you can see it from the Google Maps. It is a farm, but what was I saying? So you were asking me if I had a girlfriend and I like it being so close. Well, I did and I didn't because I did because it was so close, and you know what I mean. I didn't have to walk far. You know what I mean.
Right.
I'm not a lazy person, but I'm also not like I want to go on a hike every morning at 7 o'clock in the morning before I go to school. You know, so it was close, but I would have to literally tromp through all the cow stuff when after feeding them, and then rush back to up the hill, shower, and then go back down the hill on the other side to go to school.
Right.
And a lot of times, man, I don't care how much soap you use when you're stepping through cow poop all every morning, you're eventually gonna have that smell on you. And I ended up going to school with a little bit of cow smell on me, man. And I never let it down. They never let it down, man.
This ain't
Like they
said a
never
little
mean to
bit.
me,
Man, there is no
but
such thing as a little bit of cow smell, DJ. We
you know what I
all
mean,
know
right?
this shit,
Like
bro.
no,
They
Soon as
like I
shit
wasn't
popping.
smelling like poop,
it
but
smell a little bit.
you could smell the farm on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That Comfort smelling like the
that's
good
funny.
shit. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So by having to go through that every morning, my last year of high school, I did not have a girlfriend. There was girls there,
Right.
but no girl gave me the time of day because I was the kid from across at the farm
Hey, bro,
that was
that's
that was
why I asked. That's why
yeah, I was
I
the kid
asked,
from
literally.
at the farm that was at the bad kids home, and so no girls would give me the time of day. I was better off if I wanted a girlfriend. I was better off hanging out at the second place I had went to where they had the girls and we went to school with the girls because all the girls had to have a boyfriend. It was like the thing, you know what I mean? Oh, you don't got a boyfriend? What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? They would be treated different. So even if you were a fat, pudgy white kid with glasses, you still had a girlfriend.
Hey, that's
And
funny.
that's what I liked about that place, no matter what. You know what I mean? I had black girlfriend, Mexican girlfriend, white girlfriend. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And none of them had a problem with it. Once you broke up with one and got with the other, they were all cool with it. You know what I mean? As long as somebody had somebody. And I think it was because a lot of these kids there, they didn't have a loving home. You know what I mean? They all were really coming from bad homes. That a lot of the girls there, they just wanted someone to love. They just wanted someone to actually love them and care for them and just be there for them.
I can
You know
fuck
what I
with
mean?
that.
And it's not even in a sexual way or anything. It's like
That'd be why
it's
like
just
people fall in
company.
love in prison. What they,
They just want a company,
yeah,
you
like
know.
People be wondering why, like, how so many women fall in love with inmates and stuff. That's because they know that they need some companionship and stuff, and those people in them situations, they are wanting nothing but a female companion at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So it's a great connection. But
Yeah.
nah. All right. So I got another question, right? So
Go ahead, man.
how do we come to this point here where you find the BTB Revolution team
Oh,
and
that's
we
a long way off. I'm almost 40 years old, man. That's like a lot of years. I only gotten to where I'm 17, about to graduate
I
from high
know, but we
school.
got to break it down into segments. We can't give them all the game at one time because it's
Oh,
already been
I
a
haven't. I've only gave you like the the
that was
snippets.
Intro.
yeah, that was the intro. That was our intro though. You know what I'm saying? So now
Yeah.
we gotta bounce around. We gotta have some conversation and stuff now. You know, and then we can, you know what I'm saying, we could add that filler into the mix, you know what I mean?
So how do I find you guys? Was your question?
Yeah, like how did this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like in general, because that's just like a normal question. Like for now, like how did this happen? Like I don't even know.
It's interesting.
Besides, you know what
Well,
I'm saying? From this perspective over here,
Interesting.
you were the first person to come into the live stream that would rap and shit, like in the chat and all that shit. Oh,
so instead of just explaining it, I'm gonna show you how I found you.
okay.
So after I'm done smoking, my stuff, I smoke cigarettes, but I don't smoke cigarettes in my room because I have a fish tank and I have a dog, and I don't want to get my fish or my animals sick. So what I'll do is I'll get my ass up and I go into the laundry room. Hopefully, I got a lighter and go smoke. Damn. So can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I got my 1,000.
You funny as shit. You got a good memory, I see.
It's 100.
Sometimes, but I get up and I come in here and I have a cigarette, and you know what I mean. There's no TV in here or anything, so I bring my phone with me,
Hmm.
and I'll go onto YouTube and I'll look through the videos. But because I've been doing that for so long, and I mean long time, I've been in this house and not really going anywhere because I'm getting older. I don't hit the clubs up anymore.
Facts.
I don't really have that too many friends that like to go and do stuff, so I don't get out very much. Um, what was I saying? Fuck.
Exactly what you said. I mean, you come in there, you throw on the phone because you pretty.
Okay. So I would come in here, I go onto the YouTube, and because I've been doing it for so long, because I'm not doing much, I don't have a job. I hurt my back a while back, and it's really prevented me from getting like a regular 9 to 5, because most things are going to have me require me to stand up for hours on end, and I really can't do that. You know what I mean? Unless I'm popping a leaves, the ibuprofen. You know what I mean? But what the thing about those type of medications is that you're not supposed to take them longer than, I think, a week.
But yo,
So it's kind of hard to keep a job when you got to alternate, days, and have days where you're really good at your job and other days they're like, what the hell is wrong with you? You know what I mean? So I was losing jobs a lot because if I complain that I'm not feeling good and my back hurts, that they'll eventually let you go.
you fucking right. They will.
So I just pretty much stopped going looking for jobs, because all the places I've already done hit up. Because where I live in Texas now, it's like a regular city, but there's only so much stuff around. Like Texas is kind of a little spread out. You know what I mean? So to get to, like, say, down the street to where the McDonald's is, it's gonna take you a good 5 minutes, because it's a little bit out of the ways. It's
Yeah.
everything spread out. So I haven't really found anything since then. So I've been sitting here on the YouTube scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. I guess they call it doom scrolling. And now I get it. So I got tired of doing that. And so I started watching the TikTok shorts. and it has the vertical mode, right? Where I'm just, going through the vertical ones, and the one of them has a live feed.
Okay.
So I click on it, and this is dude. He's doing like an NPC where he's making beats, and I'm like, cool, you know what I mean? So I subscribe to him, and then he's on there for a few hours, gets off, and I'm like, damn, what the fuck? What do I do now? You know what I mean? Like I was enjoying that, and I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can find something else like that. And not 2, 3 videos down the road, I met you,
Okay.
and
No
that's how we
doubt.
got here, man.
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. No
That's
doubt.
what's up, bro.
Hey, man. Do you
I try to
believe
pay
that
the people.
everything happens for a reason, or do you think that like there's free will and stuff like that?
Well, it's definitely free will, but I think things line up. When things line up, it's kind of like the obvious. You know what I mean? When the most obvious answer is usually the correct answer. That's kind of how things are in life. Like if you see somebody that's in the same, area that you're in, or you see that you can help them out, or they see you can help them out, and you can, connect and vibe out. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Like then that's how I think a lot of connections are made. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't say that somebody put you there, but things happen for a reason. I do believe. You know what I mean?
For shit show.
Like we all have a purpose, and like being here for I don't know, almost 10 years, practically not really doing much with myself. I got tired of not having a purpose, and that's when I decided I'm gonna, pay attention to what these guys are doing. You with the rap, and the other guy with the beats. And I was like, you know what? I've had a lot of people in my time tell me that I should get into music, that I have a good ear for music, that I listen to good music. Oh, can you DJ for me? I'm like, I don't have no DJ equipment. Well, if you know what I mean, when I have my
Mm.
party, I like for you to play the songs, pick the list and whatnot. And I'm like, you want me to pick them? And they're like, yeah, I like your style of music, what you play.
But
I'm like, all right, cool. And that was the start of me becoming a DJ.
no shit.
That's cool, man.
I wanted to know that one too. I was gonna ask. I was gonna line that question up and shit, but that's straight. That's straight. That's straight. So I mean,
So, by being out here in Texas, I really wanted to continue that, right? Because I had done a little bit in California before I had left,
okay.
and when I got here, I looked around, and there wasn't many places, that were clubs. You had to go all the way to downtown Dallas, and that's about an hour drive. And personally, like I didn't get my license till I was 28. I've always been able to drive since I was like 15.
What?
When I was in the boys' home, one of the staff members taught all the boys how to drive. So I had my
Damn.
permit at a young age, but I never ended up getting my license because I ended up leaving the boys' home, going to college, dropping out, moving back home, and fell right back into bullshit. But we'll get into that a whole another time.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah.
That's wild work. Hey, yo, anybody in the chat got any questions for DJ?
Yeah, leave me with some questions.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Lay it down for him.
Let's get some questions going for DJ. Let's get some questions going for
Yeah,
DJ.
just drop
Cause
some shit in y'all's lap. You
yeah.
got
So
questions?
I can't see him, so you're gonna have to tell me.
yeah,
You're gonna have
nah.
to
Oh,
pick
I
him.
got you. I got you. I
I'm
got
gonna
you.
relay them.
It's been a whole fillet of shit, but
Stack.
in the chat the whole time. But I didn't want to keep like cutting you off to say what was going on in the chat and stuff. And it
Bro, yeah.
and a lot of it was Blaze acting a fool because you know Blaze is it's fucking Blaze.
Yo said earlier, I don't know if he was
Did
joking or
DJ
what.
have any kids from Ricky?
From
Rick
Ricky.
is a
I have,
troll. I think
I
Rick
have
is a
a I have
troll.
a daughter.
He has a daughter, Ricky.
I have a daughter. She'll be 18 next year. I haven't seen her since she was 2. Um,
Still yours.
that's a whole other can of worms. But
Right.
yeah, I have one kid that I know of.
Another interview.
Okay. Okay. Well, there you go. There's that answer to that. Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? For anybody who hasn't been in the
Yeah.
spotlight and had to go and stand up in front of everybody and give the game and tell real accounts of life and can do it flawlessly is like, you know what I'm saying? Like
He laid it down.
that's how you look when you see motherfuckers thinking too long about normal shit.
He laid it down, so it means it's
You
real.
feel me?
He had no hiccup. It's
Like
real.
yeah.
It's
So
real.
I missed the beginning of the interview, but where was the beginning of DJ O Gla Gla or OG La La? I prefer OG La La because I was thinking like be smoking that La La La. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I felt like when I seen it. I was like, oh, all right, bet that up. But Blaze said, where was the beginning of DJ OG La La originated?
Okay, so Ogallala is the tribe,
Ogallala.
sub tribe of the Sioux tribe. So there's the Lakota, Dakota, and Nakota. Those are the three subdivisions of the Sioux tribe, and each of those have their own little branches. And my branch of that is the Ogallala. And because of my grandma raised me, and I do have a Native American name that I wanted to represent. You know what I mean? Because I don't really know my white side. I don't know if I'm German. I don't know if I'm Irish. You know what I mean? I don't know where the hell my dad's from. So I only know my Native American side. So I rep it, and I rep it hard.
Mm, that's fire.
So Ogallala, I thought was
Ogallala.
like the perfect thing, and I looked up too. I'm like, I don't want to make sure nobody has this name already because I don't want to fight with nobody. I really don't want to come up with another name because I think it's a good name because I could break it down. You know what I mean? Like OG, Lala. You know what I mean? Like I think it fits me. You know what I mean?
Ogallala. I like that though. Now that you done said it a couple of times,
Ogallala.
yeah, like now that you done said it a couple of times, you feel what I'm saying? I kind of get that. DJ Ogallala. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the way the Native Americans would have spelt it. But the way
Many
it's
feathers.
pronounced, but the way it's pronounced is actually like there would be an A between the G and the L.
Bet that up. Buddha said, many
Ogallala.
feathers, one bird. I see you.
Mm-hmm.
Right, right.
Yes, sir.
Aho. That means so. What other
What
questions you
else
guys
we got
got?
out there? What else we got for him? Any questions? B, well, you sitting right here. What's up? You got a question for DJ?
I'm just sitting here on the line defending him, bro.
He's just everybody be getting tongue tied when it
I'm
comes
trying
time
to
for the
take care of the
questions,
show a
bro.
little bit, defending you a little bit. They trying to make funny, so why he's got so many toys? Because he's got more money than you.
Right, them bitches
You
is
know what I
not
mean?
cheap, bro.
Fuck up out of here.
But he already talked about that though. Anyway,
Nah, if I got respect for you, bro, you drop some real shit, bro. Just nothing but love from over here, bro. Mad love. Can't wait to do another interview with you, for real. You laid that shit down for him. Big ups.
I want some more questions, man. I know there's got to be more questions. I done said a lot of
Blaze
things.
said. Blaze said, "How old is you again?"
40, he said.
Now I'm 39.
Almost 40. Oh.
I'm gonna be 40 in May.
Boom. I'm trying to get
So
this.
do you be DJing at weddings?
You know what? I want to roll the blunt. I want to roll the blunt.
He
You ever
said,
take two? You ever take two greens and mix them and roll one?
most definitely. I didn't shit. I didn't had what I say, a smorgasbord. Shit. Fuck. Look, what you mean? That's look, bro. The vibes be.
I hope that's enough.
The name of it. He said Blaze said May what? I guess Blaze, you born in May
Yeah,
too?
like you ring up all my info. Like, come
Right.
on, bro.
Right, Blaze, what you doing? Say, hey, Ricky.
Hey, I do know Blaze is trying to have
He
a
just
war.
said he DJ. Yeah.
You trying to put together a case on me or something?
Blaze said Taurus. Is you a Taurus?
They trying to play a basketball game versus you though, for real.
That's funny.
1 versus 1. He said, I got bum knees, so it should even it out.
Yeah, motherfucker funny. He said, I'm a May baby too. Did you figure out? Hold on, let me turn it down. He said, did you figure out your he's talking to you. Oh, you can't see the He said,
No,
did you figure out
you know what? I actually got it up now. So,
why you say
did you
figure out
figure out
twice, Kyle?
your task cam? So yeah, so with the task cam, it's pretty much just for live instruments. I finally got it connected to my stereo so I can hear what it's playing.
Okay.
I figured out how to start a recording and how to stop a recording and how to do each track. And the only problem I think I've ran into so far is how to delete each track. Like if I don't like, once I started recording on a particular track, how to actually delete that and start again. Because anytime that I go to re-record on that track again, it just layers it on top.
Okay. Well, there you go, Kyle.
And
Yeah.
then I saw somebody ask what I do for a living. So when I moved out here, I had a few different jobs. I worked at McDonald's for a while, and because at the time so old, you know what I mean? I'm not 16 at this time. I'm in my, late 20s,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to do better. And really like the DJ thing, but I really had no opportunity yet. So I ended up going over to an Arby's and becoming the manager there. And I was doing good there until they let me pretty much go. They started cutting my hours back so much that I pretty much had to say I can't work here no more because it's not enough pay, to continue to work there. And that's when I really decided, you know what, I'm going to go hit up some places and become a DJ. And at the time, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And to be honest with you,
Hey,
to this day, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing.
That's fucking hilarious.
you're always learning, bro.
And I
Facts.
worked
Today
and
you
I
know
worked a couple
everything
years
today you
there.
don't know
I was
tomorrow.
a DJ at this club. The place was called Mabel Peabody's Mabel Peabody something and chainsaw repair. I know the chainsaw repair thing was how do you
Where the
say it?
fuck was this club at? This
It
club sounds.
it was off. You know what I mean? Like,
He said it was
what kind of fucking place does chainsaw repair and a bar and club?
Yeah. You
But
said.
it was just
Yo,
like their theme. But that was the
this
name of the
nigga
place.
chopped up, bro.
And I
He
was like, all
Yeah.
right, you know what I mean? I went in there, dude.
Yo.
Like, there was a lot of people there, and I noticed something was off. And I'm like, hold up, this is a gay club.
Yo.
I don't
Yo.
have a problem with it.
Bags of chainsaws.
You know what I mean? But
Yo.
all the places that I had already been to, looking for a job, they were all straight places. And when I walked up in there, I'm like, there sure is a lot of dudes here. And now I haven't told you guys this. You guys heard that I have a kid,
Yeah.
but I had a falling out with my baby mom. And pretty much when that happened, I lost my baby. I lost my child. Like, I didn't get to see my kid anymore. And I was drinking myself to death, as an adult. You know what I mean? I was legal age. Um, but I was just drowning myself in alcohol. And the place that I was going was this gay bar that had these specials where you go before 8 o'clock, you can get any drink you want practically for $2. And not only that, but for $2 more, they'll give you a little card. They call it a backup. Then they give you a card and you can get whatever drink you want later. And I would go in there and I would get them and I would have people and I would give people money and be like, hey, can you get this for me? You know what I mean? And I would collect them backups. So I'd have a stack of backups by the end of the night, and I'd be drinking the whole night. And I didn't mind because you know what? I never had anything against gay people, and I never considered myself gay. You know what I mean? Like I never really was attracted to dudes or anything. And I ended up meeting this dude who kept like harassing me.
I'm sorry,
I'm like,
DJ, but
I know, go ahead, it's
what
cool.
is
I get
going on? The way this story is rolling
my
out.
story. I know. I'm trying to explain it because you know what? A lot of people are like, "Hey, you know what I mean? Like, are you gay? Are you straight? What are you? You bisexual? You know what I mean?" But I think because of the way I was brought up by my grandma. Um, that I really don't really look at a person's gender when it comes to who I want to spend the rest of my life with. I want someone that loves me, that wants to be with me, that wants to spend time with me, and that's not going to put me down when I want to do something with myself and be better. They're not going to hold me back. They're going to encourage me and make me be a better person, and help me along the way.
I
And
respect that. I
and I
wasn't
found
expecting that, but I can respect that.
and I found someone like that, and he happened to be a man. And you know what I mean? I wasn't, I'm not into the whole gay sex stuff. That's not really my thing, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
I
I'm
love him.
honestly kind of like, bro, like this is all new shit to me. Like the way that this
Yeah.
is being presented right
Well,
now
I
is
recently
honestly
found out.
very, very, very new.
Well, because I always thought maybe I'm just bisexual. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it is. But I was never really attracted to dudes, per se. I never looked at TV or seen a dude in the street and be like, ooh, that's a hot dude. Nah, that was never my thing. What I come to find out after doing some research is that I'm called a pansexual, which is someone who doesn't look at the gender, they just look at the person, the inside person. And that's what I am, you know what I mean? And I've accepted that. It took me a long time because, before when we had first got together and we were talking right here, he would not been able to come in here and you would have never knew about him because I wasn't comfortable with myself and who I am to be able to talk about something like that because I'd always been afraid that people would reject me and think of me different. But
Nah, nigga, I don't give a fuck about that, bro.
the problem with that is that I was given a rat's ass about what other people would think.
Yeah, nah, yeah, you shouldn't give a fuck about that, cause real motherfuckers, they don't give a fuck about that. I be like I said, for me, my whole thing with it, like you see how we handle people even in the chat, it'd be like, bro, like don't be, you know what I'm saying, don't be pushing nothing on the meat, you know what I'm saying. Everybody know how I'm coming, so don't be trying to, you know what I'm saying. I feel like if somebody state how what they lane is, trying to push that type of stuff on them is disrespectful. But I feel like do what you do, bro. Like I don't give a fuck. They don't change. You still DJ, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
So
When you
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Now we know. You know what I'm saying?
so I'm with this dude, right? That's kind of a funny way to lead off, right?
That
So
is.
I'm with this
I'm not gonna lie. That was different.
dude. I done spilt my shit, man.
The beans, yes, you spilt the beans, fam. Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I know, like, for one, like I said, because we truly like this ain't the type of spot where motherfuckers like really give a fuck. But I guarantee you that everybody is fucking shocked from the
Yeah,
squad.
I
You know
wanted
what
to
I'm
say
saying?
that. I wanted to say that. I wanted you guys to see me before I said anything, and I wanted you to know a little bit about me first before you judged me. Because if I start off with that, you know what I mean. People are gonna feel a type of way, but once they see how I act and how I am, you know what I mean. Then you're like, you don't seem gay at all.
I mean,
Well,
I got a question for you, right, though? Because, like this, I'm going to ask you, in this question, I swear on everything I love, this is no disrespect, right? Now, without you saying that, nobody would know anything, and you would
yeah,
just be the same DJ or whatever that's behind
yeah,
the
but you know
keyboard, blah,
what?
blah, blah. No, yeah,
But
that's
I'm not
look, but let me get to the question. So, what made you want to reveal that to us?
because I didn't want to. It's just it's part of my story. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people out there that might be in the same boat that I was in. You know what I mean? Not understanding where, what
Okay.
the fuck? Do I like boys? Do I like girls? I'm not ever not attracted to boys or I'm not attracted to girls, but you know what I mean? That's just some confusing ass shit, man. You know what
I
I
ain't
mean? To
gonna
go
lie,
through that.
bro. I've
And I
never
felt
had this
ashamed.
conversation in life, and as a person, like I ain't gonna
I
lie, I'm
felt
one of them people
ashamed,
where
bro.
it's like, if it
I
wasn't
felt
for
ashamed.
the internet and shit like this, I would probably never have ever had the opportunity to even have this discussion, nor know that this is the type of things that that people think and feel. So I'm definitely not mad or in any type of way indifferent to You know what I'm saying? The information or anything like that. I'm just asking these questions for the fact of like I would like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, getting to know the reason of, because like I said, I'm like, that was like a boom boom bang. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a hell of a
Yeah, so
combination,
I was
bro.
ashamed. I was
You feel
ashamed to
me?
tell people that, and I learned that I shouldn't care what people think, and I shouldn't be all up in people's business. There's a way of saying that. Stop giving a fuck what people think about you, and worry about yourself. Because when you're all in everybody else's pockets and worrying about what everybody else got, then you can't concentrate and be happy with what you got.
Facts. Facts. I fuck with that. I fuck with that.
And once I started doing that and not giving a shit what people thought about me and just be me, my life started getting a whole lot better. And I started being happy with myself. But the problem that I was going through with that is that I don't have a job. I don't have nothing to do with myself. I need something to do with myself. I need to have purpose. I feel like everybody, whether they like to admit it or not, has some type of drive or want to be something in life. When you're a little kid, they ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? You know what I mean? Oh, I want to be a fireman. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't come from a place where they ask you what you want to be. I came from a place where they said, man, don't be like old boy. Don't be like such and such back there in the alley. Don't be like your uncle fucking such and such with his drinking ass.
oh yeah, I
Don't be
got like
like auntie such and such with her hoeing ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm dead ass. Like that's yeah. That was the message back then was do better. But nah, I get you though, for real, for real.
so I got I
And
got a lot of
Blaze said,
uncles
my bad, not to
that
cut you off, but Blaze said salute the DJ for keeping it 100 and being transparent with us on this live. And honestly, bro, like I said, like
You kept it real.
yeah, like
Yeah, that's
double
real.
down on that. You feel me? Double down on that.
That's real, bro. You don't give
what was I saying? Does anyone else have anything else to say or ask before I go on?
Go to the what? Who you is? Put this nigga in timeout.
It takes a lot of guts to do what you just did, bro. I respect it. I respect
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Is there any other questions for DJ?
Oh,
I
so
ain't,
dude he said go to the gym and be a real man.
it. Fuck
Bro, I
off.
probably do more than you do. So I got fish tanks that are all over my house. I got a room full of fish tanks. And these fish, they need to change water every few weeks.
We'll put
And
me
so I
on.
have, I'd say, 7 of them. That's a 75 gallon. I got a 75 in the living room, 250s, and then the room has 240s, a 55, and a 30 and a 28.
Damn, you got
That's a lot of
gallons of
fucking
fish
water to
tanks.
change, and I got to do it at 5
Damn.
gallons at a time.
okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so it's going to be a little bit of math, so keep up with me. Each gallon of water weighs about almost 8 pounds.
You got any
So
sharks?
if you're doing 8 times 5, that's 40 pounds, right? I know we're baked, but I'm pretty sure that's 40, right? 5
Yeah.
times 8.
No, there ain't no
Okay,
question
so
about it. I was waiting for you to keep going. There was
I
no,
want to make sure
yeah.
like I'm not tripping or not. You know what I mean? It's been a long time since I've been in
Yeah.
school.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
So I got to change water 5 gallons at a time. And you're like, oh, you just filling them up? Nah, man. I got to take out 25% to 30% of the water every couple weeks.
For sure.
So I got to take it out with a siphon, put it in the 5-gallon buckets, and then haul that to my bathroom
Yeah,
and
Kyle
throw
got
it
one
down
too.
the
He
tub.
knows.
I used to put it down the toilet, but we got this big ass bill.
Damn, for real?
So I stopped doing that, and I was putting it in the yard, and then the grass was dying. And I was like, oh, I can't have that. So I started putting it in the tub. So now I got to haul it. And they're all over the damn house. So I'm doing this every couple of days. I'm doing at least one tank. So I'm removing water and then putting in fresh water. I don't have a hose because I have to put the water in a 5-gallon bucket and then add chemicals to that and measure those chemicals to the water, how much it is, so my fish don't die when I add it, because fish can't handle chlorine. So I do this all the time, and it's what's been keeping me in shape. Along, when I say I don't leave the house, I'm not talking about I don't ever fucking go outside. I have a dog. I walk him down, walk him, you know what I mean? I go to the mall, walk around, shit like that. But I don't act a fool in the streets anymore, is what I was trying to say.
Hey man, look, hey, I appreciate you go ahead and standing on your own, but we got them up out of here because we don't play none of that nonsense. I can't believe they even had the name, try to put some BTB with their name. That's craziness. Anyway, but yo, that's what it is, man. I mean, I think that was a great, like, bro, for an introduction to a person that we sit here and we vibe with every day. You know what I'm saying? And it just goes to show, I mean, because like I said, at the end of the day, without knowing that shit, you was DJ. So at the end of the day, that's why I said it doesn't matter to me. You feel me?
Yeah, so I DJ'd at that gay club for about 2 years, and they slowly but surely
BTB.
started putting it to, what is it called, karaoke nights. They started with a Tuesday, and then they did a Tuesday, Wednesday, and slowly but surely they started taking my days for karaoke.
No shit.
And I felt like Arby's all over again, taking my hours from me. So eventually I stopped working there, and not but maybe a month and a half after I stopped working there, they shut down and they closed because they weren't making ends meet off of just karaoke. You know what I mean? People out here, just because they kind of live out in the sticks, doesn't mean they don't want to go to the club.
Facts.
And nobody wants to drive an hour and a half, an hour if there's no traffic to the club, and
Facts.
then have to drive back. That's a long ass Uber ride if you're drunk.
You better know it. Well,
So
look,
you really
man.
missed the opportunity with that. So, and so I told my man, I'm like, what do I do with myself now that I'm not, I ain't got nothing to do? And he's like, you know what? Instead of going and getting a job, like some fast food place making something an hour, what are you bringing home? 150, $200 every 2 weeks? And I'm like, yeah, roughly, because they don't really pay nothing out here. He's like, you know what? Stay at home. Do what you want to do. Whatever you want to do, whatever you decide you want to do, whatever direction, I'm here for you. And I haven't found a
Hey,
direction
yo, I ain't
until
gonna lie. That's legit
recently.
though. That's what's up. I mean, if you got a partner, and no matter what you do, whatever your situation is, if you got a partner and they can help you build without you having to go through a bunch of nonsense, then most definitely. But
So I DJ'd for a bit and haven't been doing stuff for a while. And now that I connected with you and that other dude, I started actually going out and buying equipment. You know what I mean? I don't know if you could see it.
let's see. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I see now.
And then I got about that all at the pawn shop. And then I got that at the pawn shop. I already had that, but yeah, got that at the pawn shop.
Most done. Most done. Hey man, look, you gotta build that motherfucking shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
Right? You feel me? That's how you do it. You feel me?
when I was DJing, I was doing it all off of a laptop that I have in my living room. But I want to do more than that. I want to actually get in the nitty gritty of making music and not just mixing songs together and making it sound good from one song to the next. I actually want to make music, and I think I could do that. And I think for as old as I am, as much music as I listen to, because
Right.
there's really not a genre that I don't listen to.
Right.
Um, I know a little bit of Spanish, but not enough to actually have a good conversation with somebody. You know what I mean? Enough to say goodbye and hi, how are you, whatnot, but not enough to have a convo. But I listen to Spanish music, but it has to be good Spanish music. Now, you're like, how do you know if it's good or not if you don't know, if you can't understand it? Well, I feel it. When I listen to a song, whether it be the vocals or the instruments, if I feel it, I'm like, oh, this is a good song. and I
Yeah.
can call him when I call him like I see him, and I've done that a lot, and to the point where I can actually go on YouTube, point to the to new people, and I can tell you who's gonna make it and who's not gonna make it.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Well, that's
I
what
have
it is.
intuition.
Man, look, that's what it is, DJ. I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's been a hell of a conversation. I'm fucking lit.
Are we done?
We gotta wrap up for right now,
All
fam.
right,
We gotta
cool.
wrap up for right now. I got some shit to take care of and shit. And
Sound good?
but nah, bro, this shit been dope though. This shit been dope. I hope you enjoy. Did you enjoy coming on and doing your thing and getting? You know what I'm saying? How'd you feel about this? You know.
Um, I hope at least one person got something from it. That's all that matters to me. As long as one person learn something, gain something. Um, you know what I mean? It kind of they learn something. You know what I mean? If I change just one opinion about people, maybe gay people, or don't judge a book by its character, by its cover, judge them by their character. Whatever the case may be, whatever you gain from it, you know what I mean? Like as long as one person gains something, that's what's important to me. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to waste my breath, but I feel like my story needs to be told because there's other people that have it like me.
I can't not deny that, bro. I cannot deny that. Like, I'm definitely gonna make sure that we go ahead and I'm gonna put the shorts and all that shit out on the BTB Revolution YouTube channel, so they can go out to the broader audience and everything.
And try
Um,
not to make me look too bad in the shorts, man.
Man, bro, look, what you mean? I'm not gonna fucking like be chopping them bitches up to fucking make you like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna is what was said is what was said, and I'm very transparent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like at the end of the day, do you feel disrespected by any of my questions or how or my
Nah,
reactions or anything like that?
nah, that's just
That ass. I'm just asking like
regular
straight up. You
responses, man.
feel me?
Even if people were being a little disrespectful, it doesn't really bother me
I ain't
because
say people. I said me.
oh, you nah, you was good, you good, we good.
Okay, all right, bet. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, then, you know what I mean. Like I said, you feel me? So you know what I mean. Look, we very transparent. You know what I'm saying. I ain't fitting to do you wrong on no shorts or no shit like that, bro.
All right,
Don't
that's
judge a
cool.
book by their cover,
Yeah,
bro.
nah, it ain't
Real
never
shit.
about that. Like you said, if anything, whether I agree, disagree, whatever the case is about any situation, when I'm putting the content out, I'm putting out the content that you, like you said, you want that work. You know what I'm saying? You want the work to
If
get
you're a
out.
solid person,
You
you're
feel
a
me?
solid person, bro.
So that's what we
You don't
gonna
give
do.
a fuck. You're a person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nah,
like
I
I
feel like
said,
what you
don't make
did
me
was
look too
You're
very
bad.
solid. You're
That's
solid.
all that matters to me. Just don't make me look a fool.
no,
And
for sure not. I feel like what you did was commendable. Everybody in the chat felt like what you did was commendable. You know what I'm saying? So Blaze just said you did good tonight. Prime Sin
appreciate
said
it.
he deserved respect. Shout out for DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't nobody showing.
Everybody
Ain't no,
gave you
yeah.
love, bro. Mad love from BTB community.
Hopefully we can make some music, man, or you know what I mean. Maybe get something going. Maybe have another one of these, but not so dramatic.
Oh, most definitely. Now we'll get to kick it, and then like I said, we'll have the community coming through. We might even start doing some more of the community chats, like more, with a one-on-one with somebody, and then still be able to just vibe out and do our thing. We'll have, we building right now until the BCB house is up.
He should make you a beat. Make a beat for Grilla to drop a song on.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
How
we'll make
about you
some
do
music.
that? You send us a beat and let Grilla rip that shit. You couldn't hear me
Who's the Blaze said I'm next.
good.
Oh my gosh, bro. What in the hell? These motherfuckers, these trolls, bro. It'd be crazy. It'd be crazy. But yeah. Nah, with that being said, like I said, I definitely appreciate you, fam. But yeah, we gotta get up out this bitch. But yo, I mean, shit, I ain't gonna lie. This was motherfucking.
Interesting.
Yeah, this was dope, bro. This was dope.
I just want to
So
say thank you for listening. You know, for those that stuck it through, you know what I mean? If you really want to show me some love, subscribe to my channel, man, because I'm trying to get to 50 subs so I can
boom,
actually go live on my own and not have to go through the whole, send me an email thing.
bet that
You know what I
up.
mean?
Y'all hear what
And
that's? Y'all hear? Look, subscribe to DJ. Um, what's the at? Is DJ OGLALA. You know what I mean? Subscribe to DJ OGLALA. And yeah, for sure. That was dope, man.
yeah, I would appreciate it. You know what I mean? Look me up. Has the little Tascam, the little, what is it called? I don't even know what to call that thing. Music maker?
Ah,
Because it's
Blake
not a MIDI. Is
Blake
you know
said
what I
that he
mean?
about to sub or he's subbing now or whatever.
Support the
So
studio. I
yeah,
yeah,
appreciate it. You know what I mean? Because I really want to do this music thing, and it'd be hard to if I only have like 20 subs. You know what I mean? I
well,
actually
when
need
the
to be able to
shorts
go
drop,
live.
I'm gonna tag you in all of the shorts and all the content that comes out from the BTB Revolution channel. Like I'm gonna tag you in all that shit. So
listen,
you
Cool.
know what
drop
I'm
it.
saying? Like I don't think you're gonna have any issue getting that 50. Like if
Send
you
a
see what how
beat.
our shorts work, you ain't gonna have no. I don't think you'll have no problem,
You
bro.
need to send a beat over it. You need Grilla to rip that shit.
Yeah,
So
because I
we
didn't buy
gonna
all
hook
this
you
equipment
up.
for
For
nothing.
real.
Yeah,
I
we
want to
gonna
make
hook you
music.
up. Trust me. No
Yeah, I
stress.
want to make music bad, man.
Hey, bro, look, I respect that. You feel me?
You in the right lane.
You know, look, your heart. Look, you definitely got heart. So you feel me? Just stay dedicated. Consistency is key, bro. Um, and definitely, like you said, don't worry about what people think. To a degree, you feel what I'm saying? Like you can't be the only one that enjoys the music that you make. You feel what I'm saying? Like you might not have to listen to everybody else's opinion, but you definitely need to listen to the vibes. But I think you
Well,
already know that.
the music that I want to make is music that a lot of people. I want to get. I don't want to make some weird music. I want to make music that get as many people as possible that's gonna listen to.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean?
For sure.
And
For
and
sure.
and good music too. I don't want to make something bunk either. You know what I mean? I don't want no junk, bro. I don't want no
I
garbage.
mean, no
You know what I mean?
bullshit.
Because that's attached to my name. You know what I mean? Like we were talking about that earlier. How the work you do is a reflection of you.
For sure.
And I can't have that on my name.
Nope.
For sure. For sure.
Just remember that when you're making that beat, when you want
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, get the whipping them beats. Your producer game is where it's at. So, you know what I'm saying? You got a couple boards, you got the mixer and all that shit. So, I would get the whipping them beats. You know what I'm saying? Get that producer game right, and especially if you got an ear for music. Because if you have a true ear for music, the producer game allows you to not be stuck into a certain genre like rapping and different things like that. You know what I'm saying? When you rap and do certain types of artistry as far as in vocals, people expect a certain product from you on a regular basis. When you're a producer, it gives you a range to be able to make music from many different genres and do different things and have a much more expansive career if you know what I mean, especially if you're starting off new.
Sounds
But
good.
you know we're gonna get to chop it up though, bro, because you know what I'm saying. You part of the team. You feel me?
for sure.
All right, now we out
Sounds
of
good,
here,
man.
y'all. We
Glad to be
appreciate
on.
Big
everybody.
ups. Big ups. Big ups.
Whew, that was lit though. This was definitely